welcome to another episode of Behind the Mask. I am your host, Sarah Joy, your friendly neighborhood interrogator turned clone, here to help you get to know who the person is behind the screen name. Tonight, we're doing something a little different, and we're chatting with Mark. You may know
Yeah,
him as the loving father who brought about Nightcast Creative. This is the patter I was writing earlier that I was telling you
great,
about.
great.
And its subsequent shows, Coruscant Nights, The Other Place, Lone Game. Sorry, y'all, that was a very loud noise outside of my house.
Spooky.
Yeah, little
Your,
creepy.
your, your
It's
curtain
fine.
moved.
Yeah, that's because my dog likes to
Oh,
wrap
okay.
himself in them.
Okay.
So that's good news. It's not the ghost. Speaking of Lone Gamers of the Apocalypse,
Yeah, sure.
and
Lone
The Other
Gamers.
Place. Uh
Yeah.
huh.
hmm
And what else, Mark?
Side Quests has been going strong. We're recording new episodes right now. And then all the offshoots from the other place. Fenrain Files, which will actually have new episodes soon. And uh, Tales from the Grey Library,
Oh, yes. I love that.
which may not have new episodes soon.
Why not?
So on that one, I get other GMs to record things in my world, and I've run out of other GMs.
I'll jam for you in your world.
Please do.
It,
Send me a pitch.
you've been in my games before,
I
so you
have.
know what happens.
Yep.
All right, cool. Well, that's gonna happen now. It's fun.
But this
So,
this is also going to be an episode of Coruscant Nights, so I should also say hello and
oh,
welcome to another episode of Coruscant Nights. Tonight I am joined by Sarah Joy, the host of this show, actually, and I'm just here for fun.
you're just here for fun. You're here to answer questions.
Uh-huh.
I didn't know we were double airing, so
Oh
that'll
yeah.
be
No, this is
super
the
fun.
crossover event of the year.
Oh, well, obviously, all
This
of our
is
20,000 fans.
actually a podcast now.
Did you do that on purpose? You did.
You just shut it down.
Yeah, that's it. Goodbye. Good night, folks. It's been wonderful. This video talk show
Uh-huh.
is now over. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. So tonight we're here to actually field some fan questions from the amazing fans here on the Nightcast Creative Discord that are about Coruscant Nights.
Tons of questions.
So, say what?
There are tons of questions.
There are tons of questions. We're gonna see if I actually ask you any of them.
Cool.
I'm kidding. We're going to start one off. So, questions. First off, I want to know, before we get started in that, what inspired you to do Coruscant Nights?
So people who listen to Coruscant Nights probably are aware that I was a big fan of Dice for Brains. That is what sort of started me on my RPG GMing journey. I was just getting into RPGs when they started releasing episodes. So listening to that, I was inspired by their idea of bringing new players to the table. And they would, their first season, they had Susan, who had never touched an RPG before. And I really liked the idea of bringing these games to a wide variety of people. And that's sort of a classic Star Wars thing is Obi-Wan's quote about a certain point of view, and then there are the books released that are called a certain point of view that they did for the anniversaries, where it's just a whole bunch of different characters' points of view of the same thing. And before that, there were the like Tales of the Bounty Hunters, Tales from Jabba's Palace, Tales from the Cantina. All these background characters have stories, so let's tell those stories.
I love that. Yes. And also, I noticed while you were leaning forward there, you have the most amazing shirt on tonight.
Oh yeah, it's my Ewoks.
Yeah.
Uh, Friends come in all shapes and sizes.
Oh my gosh. It's so cute.
Yeah, for those of you listening with no visual, it's a tie-dyed, like pastel Ewoks cartoon shirt with Wicket and Princess Kinisa and some creatures
Did they
from
change her name from the first season to the second season?
I am not that well versed in Ewok cartoon lore. I must admit.
That's okay. They're
I
currently
do
on
have the
Disney Plus.
DVD on my shelf behind me,
That's
but
amazing.
it's been a while since I've watched it.
It's delightful and horrifying.
Yeah.
So, watch party. Oh, we can't legally do that. Disney will shut us down. But you know,
You
we
know,
don't have to do that. We won't share accounts to get everybody that or anything.
we actually
So,
can't share accounts. They don't let you do that anymore.
yeah, I read the thing.
Yeah.
We have opinions about that. Anyway, so we're telling you're telling other points of view of stories, which like the Ewok shirt does fit perfectly into that, right? Because that's a point of view that we would have never gotten in the original trilogy.
Yeah.
Though, yeah, you like that?
Uh-huh, great.
Though we saw like all of the different characters, it wasn't about them, but now it
Mhm.
gets to be about them.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's kick it off with some questions. Some folks who are actually in the show, which is awesome.
I already answered some.
Did you?
Helping you out there, yeah.
Oh, I don't know where you put
Just
that.
now. No, just now. How I got started, my journey as a GM. These were asked
Oh,
by um, these were asked by
I thought
uh,
I was making that
at
up.
Martin Bowman 1993 on YouTube.
Oh,
When I
thank you,
first
at Martin
talked
Bowman
about
1993.
doing this thing.
I love it. Yay. So we did good. We did good. Okay.
Hmm.
So let's talk about the lore, right? You are really good at creating a world, and even a world within Star Wars that is different than what we would expect. Tell us about the lore of your world and how it may or may not be drastically different. Question
From
from Drunkle Grog
how it may or
from,
may not be drastically different from
from Star Wars
Star
canon.
Wars canon.
Hmm.
I actually try to get. I try not to do anything that blows canon out of the water.
Okay.
But very purposefully try to stay like try to reference canon events, try to
Mhm.
reference uh, um, the books that I read, the shows that come out. Um, so I don't think there's anything that directly contradicts canon. There are some things that I have definitely added, taking
Mhm.
liberties with what maybe some big bads are doing behind the scenes, that sort of thing.
Uh-huh.
Um, the lore of Coruscant Nights sort of grew out of the first few arcs of the show. Um, when it started, it was simply stories of characters on Coruscant
Mhm.
that touched each other in different ways. Um, as that grew and those plot points intersected, the overarching story emerged within the first season. And then from that emergence, I narrowed it down.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So that um, really, Coruscant Nights is the story of the Dims, this group of people
Hmm.
who uh, have a certain relationship with the Force. That relationship being that they don't have it, but they want it.
Hmm.
And that has then touched the lives of a significant number of characters in the series. Even ones who don't have direct connections to these events, like it's not part of their story, are still meeting other characters who are connected to this thing. Right? Does that make sense?
It does. I just have to ask, does this mean Carp is right?
About what?
Everything.
No. Well, carp, carp. Oh, carp. I mean, the emperor. does have clones. We do know that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, there are weird creatures living in the sewers. There are uh, monsters beneath the streets. Um, those monsters might be people, but
Mm-hmm.
Carp is right. Carp is like close to right about a lot of things.
Ooh, nice. Okay. So then I have to ask, have you told the player, Nikki, this?
Oh no, I would never.
Okay.
As far as I know, she doesn't listen to the show, so she'll never hear
I
this.
know. That's the best. We won't tell her either. So yeah, which does take us to another question. Why is Nikki? Let me say it right. Is Nikki the sister you never had?
Uh, in that we are uh, friendly and antagonistic towards each other. Yeah, sure.
Very antagonistic, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
more of a one-way thing, uh, but
That's what it's like to be the older sibling.
yeah, I feel like that's
So,
what it is.
yep, yep. I love that. So I do wanna touch on that some. Like you are friends with a lot of us outside of the show. We actually
Mhm,
had a weird connection through Nikki,
mhm.
which is how we met. But do you want to tell us a little bit about how you and Nikki met for a little
Oh yeah,
background
we
on
worked
Coruscant
together.
Nights?
We worked at a bookstore together for a few years, and then we both moved on to the same following follow-up job after that. We are both artists and sort of connected over illustration and did little illustration clubs here and there where we would meet up and critique each other's work and give each other ideas and suggestions and stuff. Yeah, and that has persisted over probably the decade or so, maybe more,
Hmm.
that we've known each other.
I love it. I love
Yeah.
it. So Nikki's stalking you.
Uh, she left the job first, so I guess I would be the stalker.
Oh my goodness, Mark. Okay, okay. So this has driven Carp's paranoia, obviously.
Obviously.
Oh my goodness, I love it. Okay, so monsters underneath the streets and monsters, um, I would say in some of the houses. How do you come up with your monsters?
Um, it depends on what we're talking about.
Okay.
Like, all ideas come from places, you know? Um, like, there are no fully original ideas. A lot of the stuff I take from real life. Um, the arc that is coming out right now, where
Hmm.
Doug is playing John Shondongus, uh, next Friday's episode, I think it is, you will hear that we both have some very close connections to what John's character is going through. Uh, yeah, so a lot of it comes from real world, if not my experience, other people's experiences. Um, and then when we're talking about like actual creature monsters,
Hmm.
um, I look at the Star Wars lore and see what could exist within the worlds. One thing I try not to do is make animals monsters because that's it doesn't seem like, sure, the Rancor is a monster, but it's just a creature living in a tiny cage that doesn't get a lot of food, right?
Right. It's
The
doing what it does. It's not being malicious.
Yeah, the beasts in the Geonosis arena, they're getting shocked into charging these people
Hmm.
and that sort of stuff. Um, yeah, I don't that's something I don't love that D&D does. I feel like where animals are monsters and you just have to kill everything. I
Hmm.
always like to have a way out that is not uh, killing the creature, killing the animal. Um, but if we're talking about something like The Other Place, Then I'm looking at real world lore and diving deep into Wikipedia and finding strange references to like little websites on the corners of the internet that talk about ghosts and stuff, which is fun.
Yes. Yes. That's amazing. Has any of that ghost research affected what you've done in Coruscant Nights?
Um, Not too much.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah,
Which means it's there a little bit. Can you all find it?
sure.
That's the
I'm sure
question.
it's there a little bit.
So the dims. This
Yeah.
is from Erica. Where did the dims come from? Speaking of little dark places in the internet, is it just a random dark side cult lurking in plain sight? Were they always linked to the Emperor? Spoiler alert. Are they linked to him? How much can you share without spoilers?
Um, so in the um, I guess as we hit 100 episodes in season two this week, I can say the early season two episodes with Mirror,
Mhm.
we get a look back at sort of the not the direct genesis, but the very early days of the Dims,
Mhm.
where it's a group of people who uh, all have ties to each other through their industries or wealth or whatever they've got. It's mostly wealth.
Mhm.
Um, uh, so it's a bit random cult lurking in plain sight. I don't think they would consider themselves a dark side cult. Uh,
Okay.
I I don't think I don't think they think what they're doing is wrong in any way whatsoever.
Oh,
Um,
interesting.
a link to the Emperor.
Hmm.
I think it is more the Emperor or Chancellor or whatever he is during the timeline of Coruscant Nights. We know that the Emperor is very meticulous and plotting and has a lot of fingers in a lot of pies and also just sees a lot of what's going on. It's hard to keep a secret from the Emperor, right? And we're like
Hmm.
right on his doorstep. So I think where they are doing something that might benefit him somewhere down along the line, he comes in and pardons somebody for a crime at some point. He's not going to touch it, but he'll he'll let it be.
Okay. So, timeline, right? When
Hmm.
does Coruscant Nights take place? Are we firmly in the Clone Wars era?
Anymore.
I know that we hit um so how many spoilers can we do in
We if somebody is listening to this, it is very likely that they have listened to almost two seasons of Coruscant Nights,
Okay.
uh,
Cool.
200 episodes of the show. If you have not,
Are we really at
go
200
listen to some
episodes?
other episodes.
Right, right. Let's try some other episodes first.
Close to 200, yeah.
Oh, that's
Um,
amazing.
yeah, so the first season, I think it was about the halfway point when the Battle of Coruscant happened.
Hmm.
So that is the events of Revenge of the Sith. Um,
Order 66.
Order 66, all that stuff. Uh, we are now in the early days after the fall of the Republic. So, um,
Oh,
you
wow.
know, around the time of the Bad Batch.
Hmm.
So we're seeing things that uh, are popping up in those shows, maybe before they pop up in those shows, in some cases. But yeah,
Okay. So is there, I know, Mark, you have secret plans upon plans upon plans, and I'm sure that there is
like
a
the
Wikipedia
Emperor.
for this. Yes, like the Emperor. I'm sure there's a secret Wikipedia like there is
Yeah.
for the other place. Um, do you have the rest of the arc for season three? I know you're still finishing two, but rolling into three. Do you have that outlined?
Yeah, well, sort of. Um, the season 3 is going to be different than season 2. Season 2 was
Okay.
different than season 1. Season 1,
Mm-hmm.
almost every arc was a different character, except
Mm-hmm.
for Carp, who came back again and again. Season 2 saw a lot of repeats. A lot of the people from season 1 came back. A lot of the people in season 2 had multiple arcs within the season.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them act very close to each other, like the Casimir arc. The
Mm-hmm.
second arc picked up minutes after the first one ended. Um, Season 3 will be one long story. So we'll see one character come back again and again
Okay.
with other characters that we're familiar with jumping in here and there.
Interesting.
Uh, it will not be 100 episodes.
Are you sure?
I am sure.
Okay.
Uh, I I know who that repeating character is. The
Mm-hmm.
person playing that character knows who the repeating character is. That's
Are
all
you
I'll
gonna
say.
tell us?
I'm not. I will tell you, it's not Carp.
Really shocking.
Yeah, Carp will be there, but it's not
Carp is pretty sure that it is carp.
Carp. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I love that. Interesting. So, like, when about, or rather, what inspired you to start really fleshing the story out and creating the arcs instead of just going for one-off stories?
Um, I liked so many of the characters that were created in the first
Mm,
season, um, and random connections here and there had to coalesce at some point. Like we still get them. The uh, last episode that comes out references stuff from the first season, stuff from the second season. There's little bits, tidbits of things here and there that you can pick out and say, "Hey, I know what that's from." Like, oh, it's that thing. I get it. I've been here all along. But it can't all be that, you know?
mm-hmm. Okay. So let's go back to Mirror. We talked about Mirror briefly before, and why is Mirror the main character for season three? I look at you for the podcast listeners. I look at you intently, waiting for you to say yes or no.
I say neither yes nor no.
Okay. That's okay. Um, oh my goodness. So Mir has a heart-wrenching arc. Timeline wise, Mir's arc is what leads up to his ride was on the butt sled. And will we see Mir in the future?
Do you remember the butt sled?
I don't.
Okay,
I'm
that's okay.
but never trust my
It was from
memory.
the Kitties episode. Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
which I
where
listened to.
yeah, it
I
was
think
fun.
twice.
Um, what was the question?
We got
It's distracted by
distracted
butt
by
sleds.
butt sled. Yeah, so Mir has a heart-wrenching arc. Timeline-wise, Mir's arc is what leads up to his ride on the butt sled. Will we
Sure.
see timeline-wise, Mir's arc is what leads up to his ride on the butt sled?
Sort of.
Question
Yeah, I
mark.
mean, Mir's episode came out during the events of episode 1, so it's like 15 years before everything
Mhm.
else. Mir was a prequel.
Oh, I didn't know Mir was a prequel.
Yeah.
Okay, this makes a lot more sense.
Okay. What comes after butt sleds?
What
There was an actual question there, right?
Yes. Will we see Mir again in the future?
I'm sure we will.
Okay. What about the butt sled?
Unlikely.
Okay.
Mir's got his own chassis now.
Oh, well, that's good. Does it include the butt sled?
No,
Ooh.
it doesn't have a butt. Astromech droids don't really have butts. They're just tubes.
That's sad. Oh my gosh. All right. So I'm really distracted by butt sled now. This
Yeah,
is
butt
gonna take
sleds.
me a second. Butt sled. We're grown ups. This is what we do. Ugh. So With season two of Coruscant Nights now in its home stretch, and season three being the final season, which we do
Mhm.
know, do you have any plans for future projects that will feature characters from Coruscant Nights?
So, um, after season three,
Mm-hmm.
which it's going to be a while before that ends. We got time. But after season three, I will probably be mostly focusing on finishing the other place because
Ooh, okay.
I like to have a plan, and that has a 6 season arc that I have
Whoa.
in mind, and
Okay.
we finished two, so
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to get a little further along in that. Um, I got lots of ideas. Uh, always got
And
lots
they're
of
all
ideas.
podcasts.
They are mostly podcasts. I've been wanting for a long time to run the Zesh files, which would be two investigators working for the ISB, investigating strange occurrences across the galaxy.
Uh-huh.
Don't know if I'll ever make that. I'm sure it would tie into events on Coruscant Nights in some way.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I have not come up with any plans for future stuff to in the Coruscant Nights world, really.
Okay. So just some like drop-ins, some
Yeah,
cameos.
I've got some random ideas. I don't know. Um, yeah, I don't know.
Okay. I feel like maybe this question will spark some ideas.
I've always got ideas.
I like it. I like it. So let's go to another question. I love some of these and I'm trying to tie them in, but they're a lot. Um, were there any episodes that were particularly emotional to you and why? And I'm going to be specific, emotional to you in that one.
Me. I
Mm-hmm.
think the ones where people can feel uh, the most emotion, like just to and either myself or the other players. I think,
Okay.
um, and I'm not going to like just say emotion like, oh, this made me sad. Like Mir's episode, it was difficult to finish. Like we both
Mm-hmm.
knew where it was going to go. Like
Mm-hmm.
at some point, we knew what was going to happen. Um, any episode where like a major plot event happens that I now have to drop on players, uh, that I feel like that is an emotional episode when I have to tell somebody that all the Jedi are being killed. That uh, like I get nervous. Like what's gonna happen
Interesting.
now? Like this is a big deal. This is like a Star Wars timeline event happening. What's gonna
Mm-hmm.
happen now?
Interesting.
Yeah, so that was the as Eric is pointing out, the connection series of episodes was when Order 66 happened, where I
Mm-hmm.
had to then tell everybody, and then just schedule a
Uh-huh.
couple one-on-ones, not telling them what's going on. Just we're gonna record for 15 minutes. Don't worry about it. Hey, by the way, it's Order 66. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were
So
part of that.
I was. That was fun for me. I don't know. I didn't know it wasn't fun for you.
No, it's fun, but it has more weight to it, you know?
Interesting. Okay.
Like I'm about to tell you something that may change your character forever.
Yeah. Okay. So you're bringing like big old stakes to the table, and you're like, okay, go.
Yeah. Yeah, and I actually really tried to do that with all of the characters for these last four series before the end of this season.
Hmm. What was your most memorable off the top of your head? We won't say favorite, but most memorable reaction to that right now.
Um, I think it was with Connie because
Mm-hmm.
we were having like a quiet moment. The way that that arc ended was with introspection.
Mm-hmm.
So to go from that to that event to like instant action where you're out of hyperspace, you're getting shot at. You don't have
Oh
time to
yeah.
think about this, what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I like it. If y'all haven't listened to those episodes, go back and listen. Nice. So, how many tertiary movie characters have any of the CNPCs met? CN being Coruscant Nights.
Yeah. Um, an often forgotten character, at least for me, uh, Smisk, has probably met so many, being a senator and being Senate being the focus of uh, the prequels, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Um, who else do we have? I don't know. Uh, we've got a lot of Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
They've probably met some of the Jedi. I
Mm-hmm.
think we mentioned some of the. I don't know. That's a weird question.
It's a
I,
good question though, because it
here's
does
okay.
tie in, right?
Yeah, I've got the weird answer for you.
Give me the weird answer.
All right. So in the what's his name? Um, the private investigator
Mm-hmm.
played by Sonny Bravencourt from
Oh, yeah.
uh, University of Coruscant
Mm-hmm.
is called. His name is just I'm blanking on his name.
You gotta look at the secret wiki, Mark.
I'm over here just secretly typing as fast as I can to get into my
Right.
secret
Right.
wiki. Um, so his client was named Enzo Greenlee. This is
Mm-hmm.
also a connection to another podcast. Uh, that client's uh, girlfriend
Uh-huh.
was pregnant in that episode.
Mm-hmm.
Stanton was the name of the character that I was blanking on.
Yeah.
In Star Wars canon, at the time, this was before Solo came out, this character is now in actual canon, but before that, it was in comic book canon, old
Oh.
stuff, like stuff nobody cared about. Um, Greenlee is Tag of Tag and Bink, Tag Greenlee. Completely
Ah.
random connection out of nowhere. Um, and I always thought those comics were funny. So I made that connection. But then uh, in Dicey Cantina,
Mm-hmm.
and the first episode that I was on, I
Mm-hmm.
introduced Tag and Bink as a couple of stormtroopers in that. So that character's son becomes a stormtrooper and is on Dicey Cantina.
Oh my gosh. I like it. I
Uh
like
huh.
it. You also got the crossovers going. How many crossovers do you have between the Star Wars podcasts?
On Flight Risk, I play Aaron Windstalker. On Coruscant Nights, there's a character named Joran Windstalker. So you would
Mm-hmm.
be his great 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 grandson or whatever.
Uh-huh.
Um, Dicey Cantina has some obvious crossover. Um, there's a lot of crossover. Um, on the episode that Adam from Force Majeure was on, not only did I mention that the ship from his show was no,
That's
this was
right.
actually on a different one. It was on the one you were on, I think. The ship from flight or from
Cool ship.
Force Majeure. No, Cold Fire's Mercy was
Cool fight. Yes.
docked on
Yep.
Coruscant,
Mm-hmm.
and the show that Adam was on, the clone trooper character from his show, I way back in the day, I was saving this forever. I wrote down that character's like clone trooper number
Mm-hmm.
and then just whipped it out randomly when Adam was on the show. So his clone character sort of got screwed over by his own character on that episode.
And how much delight did you take in that?
Quite a bit, especially because Adam was like just went blank for a second. Like that number is really familiar. What is that a reference to? Oh, let me tell you.
Yeah.
I wrote down this number 6 years ago. It's been saved in my phone.
Oh my gosh, I love it. I actually would like to think of you writing it down on a piece of paper and like saving it in a little drawer. Oh, hey,
Oh,
card.
hey.
Saving it in a little drawer to present.
I've got a lot of little drawers.
You
They're all
do.
just full of junk.
And Clone Trooper.
Art supplies for later and clone trooper numbers.
Yes. Oh my goodness, I love it. So, Clone Troopers, one of my favorite arcs, and I will pick a favorite. That is not Kishi and Janet. I know better to to say that.
Just plug your
Um,
own episodes. It's fine.
right, exactly, exactly. What was the first Lucky arc that we listened to, where
Way back
Lucky
when.
went way back when down under
Yeah.
Coruscant and just explored an entire new world that I had never had any exposure to. Are we going to see Lucky back?
Unlikely.
What? Why?
Um,
That's a big question.
the reason that we did the Lucky arc was to sort of set up the foundation for Coruscant Nights. Um, for season 2, that foundation was set by a play-by post that quite a few people were in.
I read that. Mm-hmm.
Season 3 will partially be set up by a series of episodes that I'm running on a different podcast that I will plug at some point as soon as I can remember the name. Um, but yeah, so Lucky's story, though it didn't really finish, is over. I think I have floated to Doug
Mm-hmm.
that we should play Lucky again, and he's like, it's been too long. We can't play Lucky anymore.
Oh, no.
Hyperspace Heroes. I'm going to be running some episodes on the show called Hyperspace Heroes.
Okay.
They're going to be playing a squadron, so
But no Lucky.
some no more Lucky.
Oh,
It's not only me saying no more Lucky. It's also Doug saying no more Lucky.
I know when it's Doug's character.
Yeah.
Fine. That's okay.
Same with no more Saul Dixon. Doug's not interested in playing Saul anymore.
Oh,
He's happy to do
man.
voiceover, but yeah, Saul won't be playing it in any more episodes.
All right. Just don't take John Shondongus away from me.
Doug's got enough characters, so
Yeah.
it's fine.
Ah, man, Lucky was so good. And I was thinking about this when you were talking about the creatures that you created. Is that one that was out of the Star Wars universe, or is that one that came from your mind?
Which one? Oh, from
Yeah.
Under Coruscant?
Uh-huh.
All me.
Love it. Is
Yeah.
under Coruscant like you hit a certain level and then it's Mark's domain?
No, because I mean they've established a lot of uh, canon and old expanded universe about the lower levels. So my domain is between the levels because there's
Okay.
got to be space between the levels, right?
Always.
Yeah, we don't talk about the sewers. We don't talk about the places that people don't want to go, and that's where we go.
I love it. I love it. And that's where the noodles live.
Sure.
Oh my gosh. So how large is the extended Coruscant Nights universe? Like it touches so many things.
Yeah. It's big.
Hmm.
I don't know. It's big. I don't know if I know the extent of it.
I love it.
Um,
Infinite.
yeah, because I don't think not everybody tells me when they do a little nod to Coruscant Nights. So
Ah,
it,
okay.
it could be bigger than I'm aware.
I'm sure it is. I'm sure it
Yeah,
is. We'll have to all listen into the podcast ring
yeah.
and find those little nods for you. So anyone, if you hear a nod to Coruscant Nights, please send it over to Mark. Let him know how big his universe has gotten.
To those of you listening, I'm nodding. Yes.
Yes. So why is Life Day so very special to Coruscant Nights?
Um, it's fun to do an episode that doesn't connect to anything.
Uh-huh.
Life Day doesn't have to connect to anything. Uh, like we can just do a Christmas episode and we can have a little enclosed area of fun.
Hmm.
And if we want to reference something, we can make it about Jingle All the Way. But if we don't want to do that, we don't have to. Um, yeah, really, I would say out of all the episodes,
Hmm.
the the holiday episodes are the least canon, but they're still canon.
They're still canon, yes.
Only
Oh.
because we made connections from them. Like what is it like? What Bronchus, the
Hmm.
mechanic, was
Hmm.
in the last episode of Coruscant Nights to come out. Uh, yeah. So
I love it.
uh,
So listen to all the episodes is what that means.
did you
So
happen to
mhm,
notice? This was a while ago. The sentient noodles in an episode.
I'm a little
You're a
behind.
little. No, this was 2 years ago.
I may have, my memory's not that great.
Okay, it was in the Afka episodes.
Oh, I listened to those.
Yep, yep.
Uh-huh. Did
So
I
you
catch
know,
you at the
your
time?
your noodle conspiracies might be true.
Excellent. Very excited about that. I do know they're true. I'm just glad that you're finally realizing that they're true.
Those poor
Oh
noodles.
my goodness, those poor noodles. Poor noodles. If you could make one thing like the sentient noodles from
No,
uh,
not going to be the sentient noodles.
Coruscant Nights canon in the Star Wars universe, what would it be other than the sentient noodles? Because we all know that's a thing.
What would it be? Um, I I would want to say that it's the perceptions of the Force. We don't really see like first person all that much about what the Force feels like to characters.
Hmm.
I would like I would like to know that, and I like I like the way I do it because I it's the way I do it. So I would like that to be canon.
But I love how you lead me into the next questions.
Yeah, I know. You're welcome.
Where did the concept for what does the Force look and feel like for your character come from?
Well, we all see the world differently, right? And um, it's all our perception is based on our experiences.
Hmm.
So, like for me, which is the next question, uh, I I feel like
Stop looking ahead.
the force. I'm not looking at them right now. The force would be intensity of color and uh, shades of black and white. And I think that with the Force being such a personal thing for characters in Star Wars,
Mhm.
that their perception of it would also be touched by their experiences and the way they see the world.
I love that. So then yours being intensity of color in black and white.
Yeah.
Um, did you see the Visions episode with
With the
color?
painter? Yeah.
Yes, kind of like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like it. So this leads me to ask you, what color would your lightsaber be?
I'd like it to be yellow.
Hmm.
I think it would be yellow or green.
Okay. Always curious.
So like
Why? Yeah.
green. I was thinking about this last night while I was watching um, Tales of the Empire, where with the lightsaber colors, and
Hmm.
because I went back and watched the old ones with Master Yaddle and Qui-Gon Jinn and Count Dooku, and
Hmm.
Qui-Gon Jinn's
Hmm.
got the green lightsaber, which I always sort of um, tied to maybe people with sort of alternate ideas in the Force. But then we have Yoda, who also, right? Yoda's got a green lightsaber, right?
I
Who's
think Yoda has a green lightsaber, but I feel like your theory still holds.
really? I don't know.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Because,
But
like, Yoda changed. So,
I feel like Yoda's just got a green lightsaber because Yoda's green.
because someone's like, you know what goes great with green? Green.
Green. Yeah. But I just like how yellow ones look. I think they're cool.
Ah, interesting. I mean, it's not because your favorite Space Bunny cats had them or anything.
No, it's not.
Oh, oh my goodness. So let's talk about parks. There were a couple of questions on park.
Okay.
Speaking of like Jedi, and
Answer
now
them to
let's
the
flip to why
best
is
of my
park?
ability.
Yeah, why is park not a Jedi?
Like, why didn't he not get found?
Mm-hmm.
So I liked the idea of um, I don't. Okay, I'm gonna go back. I
Go
don't
back.
love the idea of like generational power in the Jedi, right?
Mm-hmm.
I am powerful because I have good genes. Just doesn't really work. Doesn't really work for me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I like the idea that anybody can have the Force, which is why I like Sabine Wren being able to hone that ability.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I've talked. I don't think I've talked about this on the show, but I've talked about this in some games that I've played with some people on the server
Mm-hmm.
about Luke's analogy in one of the graphic novels of a door, and everybody has a door. Is it
Mm-hmm.
open? Is it closed? Is it cracked? Is it uh, the size of the front door in a castle? Is it a mouse hole? Um, the idea that these people who happen to be all together, maybe through the Force, maybe
Mm-hmm.
just through sheer coincidence, um, have this ability, but didn't have it at the right time for them to be picked up by the Jedi. Like maybe when Park was a
Definitely
baby,
the way of saying it.
maybe when Park was a baby, the Force was there, but the door was just cracked. And as he got older and decided to uh, fight for justice in his little corner of the world, things opened up for him. Things changed
Ah.
as he changed, and he learned more about what he can do. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that does. I really like that because that it's less than about your genetics, less than about natural talent, and more about the skills that you develop.
Hmm.
And then the force recognizing something in you and saying, we're going to invest in that kid.
Yeah, those midichlorians. They're like,
Midichlorians. I
hey,
know I was going to
hey,
say it.
that
I was
guy.
like, oh, it hurts me to say
Let's go
it.
check that guy out.
Right. What's his M count? We should give him some more. Oh my goodness. How are you feeling just in general about that coming back into the series so
It's
heavily?
great. It's great because I wrote it in the Coruscant Nights 6 years ago.
Did you?
Sure, the
Wait,
Dims are
which
doing
episode was that?
experiments to give other people the
Oh, that's
Force.
right. That's right. That's
They've
right.
been doing it. They've been doing it for years.
Oh my God, can we talk about the dim some more, please?
Sure.
Okay. So, like, what gave you the idea for the dims?
Originally,
Hmm.
I needed a conspiracy for Carp.
Interesting. Okay.
Uh, I needed Carp to have done the wrong amount of digging and to have been found out by the people that she was investigating. Um,
Hmm.
the story at that point, through Lucky, had a few people in the Jedi Temple,
Hmm.
um, and Carp went in their direction for help. So now the Force is involved. This is the Dims originally came out of improvisation.
Hmm.
Um, in those first Carp episodes, I had the scene where uh, Carp confronts some people in the bar planned.
Yep. Yep.
I probably had two or three more scenes planned. They could happen
Hmm.
anywhere as long as they happen, and everything else was uh, like, yeah, it was just improv. So um, yeah, going to investigate these people, I needed to give some something that would be a threat to Nikki's character, even though she had a Jedi uh, close by. Um, and yeah, we got a uh, weird old guy doing some magic with a weird old magic sword, and that's how the
And
dim started.
thus the dims. Did you, and I'm sure you have, this is like, so I've recently come into the extended universe because I ran out of canon stuff to watch and listen
Right?
to. Um, did, was there any of the Night Sisters like with
Yeah,
magic
that was
really
there
brought
right in the
in?
beginning.
Okay, so that's
Yeah,
been there for a long time.
yeah, they are trying everything out, seeing what
Hmm.
sticks, basically.
Hmm.
Going through all of the various Force religions and Force uh, sects and seeing what they can do. So in that very first set of episodes, we had this guy with his sword, which Carp now owns, obviously. But there
Yes.
was also like a bubbling cauldron of green magical stuff.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yep. So
I
that's
like
been
it.
there.
I like it. I like it. Okay. Hmm. Hmm. All right, Rondo Pepsi. Are we coming back?
Probably not.
Okay. Kurt
He's on
Lasser.
Dantooine, so we might get back to Dantooine at some point. Kurt Blaster,
Okay.
no.
Oh,
I don't think I can get Linda back on.
oh, that was Linda was amazing though.
Yeah, there's some really good characters in the first season that I probably just can't really get the players back.
Okay. Life happens.
Yeah, people have
Yeah.
kids, people are busy.
What is that? I don't know. Who's too busy for Coruscant Nights?
I'm almost too busy for Coruscant Nights.
That's fair. Oh my gosh. No, you only need like an hour a week, right, to do this.
Sure.
So with your time commitment to this, like what is your preferred recording style? I'm gonna keep going until you cut
Yeah.
me off, by the way.
On over the internet. Same with playing the games.
Really?
Yeah, sounds better.
Ah, okay.
It sounds
Okay.
better when we're both facing our microphones, when we've got
Hmm.
headphones on. We can hear each other. It's quiet background. When we do in-person recordings, it's generally just a little fuzzier sounding.
Interesting.
You get big clunky dice rolls that kill the sound. Yeah, so online's better. If we're actually just playing a game for fun, I would love
Mhm.
to play games in person, but it just doesn't work out. So because everybody is on the Nightcast Discord, just so you know. Play games with these people all the time.
Yes, it's the best. This is why everybody should be on the Nightcast Discord.
Hmm.
We do have a lovely community here. Yeah, so the Nightcast Discord, right? I was here when it was just really starting to pop off, which
Hmm.
is awesome. Why did you decide to create an online community?
Um, I made a Patreon.
Hmm.
Patreon's got built-in Discord stuff. I was
Hmm.
on the Discord for um, Dice for Brains. I was probably also on the Force Majeure one,
Hmm.
and they just seemed like um, a good way to connect with people. Um, People
Yeah.
were starting to listen to the show, and um, yeah, people were like reaching out on back when I used Twitter and stuff, and I thought, yeah, let's find a good place to talk about stuff.
Oh, I love that. Did you ever expect it was gonna get to be what it is today?
Um, no, when it started out, we had like I don't know, 15 people with you and Drunkle Grog and uh, Dwayne and just a few others, and
Yeah.
um, now it's like I don't know, like 150 people. It's pretty good, pretty
Oh yeah,
exciting.
yeah.
Yeah,
Back in the day when I had more points than AJ.
yeah. Those points,
Looking
they're
at you,
long
AJ.
gone.
That's because AJ just dominated all of them. For those of you tuning in now to the Discord, there was at one point a way that you could get your ranking, how much you posted in the
Yeah,
chats for a while.
yep,
AJ just destroyed everyone.
it's true.
Yeah, but delightful human being. Glad we picked him up along the way in our on Coruscant.
Hmm.
I love it. So, like, talk about your players. How do you find us? And then, is there a type of person that you prefer to play with? I'm curious.
I It's different for each season.
Hmm.
The first season had a lot of people that I knew in real life. Um, and we would play on the table behind me, and we would get those deafening dice rolls and fuzzy audio quality.
Hmm.
Um, as the show grew and uh, people started speaking with me, and I got to know people over the Discord, um, I first started reaching out to people who ran or played on other shows, other Star
Hmm.
Wars shows. And then I just ended up playing games for fun with people and got them to come onto the show. Um, yeah. What I
And
look
it's
for is, uh, I don't know, I guess people who are creative and who um, are willing to like go in unexpected directions if that happens. Which
mm,
luckily has been a significant number of the people that I played with.
yeah, which creates really good stories.
Yeah,
I love it. All right, I've got to pick one more. It's
just
10
one
and
more.
1 unless you want to keep going.
Your call.
Oh my gosh. I don't need to sleep. Who needs to sleep? So, Eric is referring to something that I don't understand, so I want you to explain this. Mark, is there actually a star weird, and will it come back? And what in the world is Erica talking about?
So, in the Connie episodes, the first set of episodes, as Connie was trying to come to terms with things, looking out the dome windows of the Grand Orbital Observatory, she spotted a being out there floating in the void.
Ooh.
Was it really there? Was it an illusion, a trick of the light on the debris
Force
float.
ghosts.
Well,
Mhm.
like maybe. There was also a lot of debris floating around after the Battle of Coruscant. It could have been anything.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say is it could have been anything.
I like it.
Sorry, no answer to that question.
No answer whatsoever. Oh my gosh. I'm so
You'll just have to wait for the Zesh files.
okay, it's in the Zesh files. I love it. We're gonna go find the Star Weird in the Zesh files. Let's see. I'm gonna give us one more. Actually, I'm gonna probably give us like five more, but whatever. It's too fun. What's Angel Day?
I have no idea.
Okay, me either. Could it be something?
Literally no idea.
You
I
just
don't know
make it
what
up
that
right now.
question's about. Yeah, it's the traditional holiday on the moons of Viego.
Yeah. It's where all the angels return home, right?
Sure.
Like they've been off at college. Hi, Junie. They've been off at college and like out trading and they descend upon their moon.
Great.
Boom, done now. There you go. Angel. That's what Angel Day is. All right. That was a good one.
Apparently, it was mentioned in the holiday special. I don't
It,
remember it.
oh, the Star Weird? Or Angel Day? Oh, Angel Day.
Yeah.
Okay. So, how long has TC-44 been around, and why does he have that look in his eye? And then I have a follow-up question.
EC44 knows what you did. He's been around longer than you expect.
How many times has TC-44 been wiped?
Like weekly.
Does it work?
No, he's too stubborn.
Oh my gosh. So I am curious. I listened to another friend's podcast. Kyle played on Coruscant Nights, and I
Kyle
cannot
did
remember
not play on Coruscant Nights.
what.
Yeah,
How
I
did
have
Kyle
not
not
had
play on
Kyle on.
Coruscant Nights?
There was going to be a Coruscant Nights crossover at one
Mm-hmm.
point with Flight Risk. That was going to
Mm-hmm.
be like this was like third season of Flight Risk, so this was a while ago. And my plan for it, I wanted um, Kyle and um, I forget who Kyle was playing with on that season, but they said they had a stopover on Coruscant
Uh-huh.
and that they didn't remember it. I wanted to do a hangover episode where
Oh
they
my
wake
gosh,
up
so
in a
fun.
room with
Mm-hmm.
uh, a tiger and whatever else, and they have to piece together what actually happened that weekend. The third player was going to be Doug, who was going
Mm-hmm.
to play Doug the Doug.
Excellent.
This is all still canon in Coruscant Nights, just so you know. This happened
This has happened.
thousands of years ago.
Okay.
Doug the Doug got frozen in carbonite and woke up in Coruscant Night's time and is the bartender
So,
at
the
Brakdoga's. His
fry.
actual full name is Brakdoga, and he just went by Doug back in the
Oh
day.
my gosh. Perfect. Perfect. Oh my god.
Lost episode that just never happened.
Right. I feel like we need it. I feel like it
Happened
needs
in
to
my
happen now.
mind.
Yes. So, okay, so Kyle, that will be in a future episode, the future hangover episode of
Hmm.
Coruscant Nights.
In the
His
future
wife has a
past.
podcast. Yes. What the Force, and she's talked a lot about sentience in droids. I am
Hmm.
super curious. How have you handled sentience in droids other than Mir and TC
Mir
44
doesn't count.
somewhat? Mir
Mir doesn't
doesn't
count.
count.
No, because
Right.
Mir's a rock, not a droid. Um,
Droid
so we've
body.
had
Well,
Gonk, Snacks, TC
mhm.
44, TC 43, TC 42, uh, and um, the droids that I have played, and I think Gonk the Annihilator over the course of his game became like went from this like one note uh destruction bot
Hmm.
to um somebody who he went from something to somebody. Like he went
Hmm.
from a tool to somebody who had desires, who who had something that he wanted. Um,
Okay.
I will say that two of the TCs that I've played have also had that. Like I feel like to desire something is something that a non-sentient creature could not understand. TC44 wants to TC44 honestly just wants to belong.
Oh.
He just gets kicked by the clones.
Oh yeah.
It's just the butt of the joke. And Smisk tries to take his head off. But
Oh.
I think that's how I deal with the idea of sentience. At least when I'm playing a
Hmm.
droid, it's that they may not have clear emotions, but they do have uh, needs and wants and hopes.
Interesting. And what is Star Wars if not built on hope?
Yep.
Yeah, I like it. All right. One more.
Just one more, just five more.
Just one more. Just five more. So music.
Yeah.
We got a really good question about music, and I want to talk about it because, again, one of my other favorite episodes is oh my
DJ
gosh, now I
Mystique
can DJ Mystique. Thank you. Um,
saving the theater, the
Henry,
Muppets
one of my
episode.
favorite people too. So where did it go? Oh my gosh, y'all. Been looking at the computer too
Is
long
it
today.
is
So
it
when
is it
making
okay?
number nine, when you make music for Coruscant Nights, do you make it for the character or the theme before or after you play?
It's always after.
Okay.
Um, I yeah. If it is a particular character theme, it is always after. Um, Pretty much all of the music in Coruscant Nights is either about a character or a place.
Hmm.
Um, and I did do three new ones for the last arc uh,
Okay.
that were all location. They were all place based. Um, yeah,
Interesting.
there probably won't be any new ones for John Shundangus, but um, if I'm feeling inspired, the
Hmm.
arcs that come after that.
Okay. So we can look forward to some new music. Also, for those of you who have not checked it out, there is lo-fi.
There is.
So thank you for
Actually,
that.
I definitely need to do some new music for the upcoming Carp episodes.
Yes. The
Yeah,
Carpisodes, as
the
we
Carp
call them.
episodes.
I like it. Will we be seeing DJ Mystique again? That was, oh my God, that was just amazing.
I would like to.
Mhm.
I have dream teams for season three. I don't know if they're going to happen, but DJ Mystique is on one of those dream teams,
Okay,
and
good.
that arc would be called Rebel Radio.
Oh man, yes, please, yes, please, yes, please. Henry, please. Hint. That would be amazing. Okay, I love it. Yeah, and what got you started in music? Why did you think it suddenly like Coruscant Nights needed music? I mean, it does, but
I've always been musically
oh my
inclined.
God. Thanks, neighbor.
Uh, it is no secret that Doug and I were in a band in high school.
Yep.
Been playing music forever.
Hmm.
So when I started Coruscant Nights, I wanted to give that sort of rainy streets, lo-fi, uh, Blade Runner feel to things, and what better way to do that with music than with music?
And some like cool synth wave.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. Um, and again, there's lo-fi. Go check it out. It is
Hmm.
delightful. So sweet. What one question have I not asked you that you've hoped that I would ask you?
Like out of the list of questions,
Out of the
um,
list of questions, I've covered
oh boy,
most of them. And I also did the thing where I jumped around, so have fun reading through that list.
Okay, so I'll just I'll list all this stuff off because I don't know if it's going to happen.
Uh-huh.
AJ's question: if Coruscant Knights had a side game like other places, Tales from the Grey Library, would it be more noir like the first few arcs of Coruscant Knights? And when will that start? So potentially season 3, if I can get the people involved.
Mm.
Um, let's see, we've got Rebel Radio, GJ Mystique, and Trask. We've got Coruscant Knights Noir with Stanton Horn and Executive Officer Pinnell.
Ooh.
We've got Coruscant Knights with a K with Kishi and Janet and Mir.
Oh my gosh, that will be
Uh-huh.
chaos. Do you
Uh-huh.
want
Yeah,
to
it
do
would. We're never gonna do that. We'll see.
that?
Um, what other dream teams? I've got a potential Fife and Carp team up,
Oh
um,
yeah,
and then some other ones that I'm going to continue to keep secret
nice. I'm
because they'll
excited about
probably
that.
actually.
We can do the rest of them.
Sure.
Yeah. I'm here for Rebel Radio. I just want to hear all the music that y'all put together for that. Like, yeah. And also Coruscant Nights, because very selfishly, um, I like playing with AJ and it's chaos and
Yeah, it might be
uh,
too chaotic.
we kept it together for some
My
of
goal
those
for that is to just make you all cry.
with laughter.
No.
Oh yeah, good luck with that. Oh my goodness. Mark's like challenge accepted.
I think I could get 2 out of 3.
Oh, which two?
I don't know.
Hmm,
I do know.
you do know. Yeah. Don't tell
Oh,
us
I mean
because it.
2 out of 3 crying. That's
Yes,
what I
yes,
mean.
that's what I thought.
Oh,
That's what
okay.
I thought.
Not 2 out of 3 of those arcs.
Oh, no, no, no. Those arcs are all gonna happen. It's
One
too
out of
late.
three. Yeah,
1 out of 3 crying.
you're all gonna be crying by the end of it.
Oh, you're gonna kill everyone. It's okay.
Yeah,
We don't kill people. It's a kid show.
sure.
Has anyone ever died on Coruscant Nights?
You're asking this question?
I mean, well, like characters, not
Yeah,
bad guys. We
yeah.
don't.
You're
Those don't
asking this.
count.
Let's not talk about lost episodes right now. Um,
Oh, well, yes, but that one will never see the light of day.
it might. Lost episodes are currently airing on Patreon right now.
Ooh, that's right. Y'all, if you
Um,
want something dark, ask Mark for that one on Patreon. That's the
uh,
that's the $200 a month level. Ooh.
um, have any of the characters ever died on Coruscant Nights? Characters have been close. I will say that I was particularly brutal when these last 4 episodes.
Hmm.
That's all. That's all I'll say there. Yeah,
Ooh, okay.
Connie almost died.
Ooh.
Park almost died.
Ooh.
That's what happens
Interesting.
when there's an Inquisitor involved.
Ooh. All right, y'all, if you haven't caught up, me, you better catch up and figure out what's going on. Oh my gosh, I love it. All right, I can't see the other chat. I'm not sure if, like, it almost looks like I've been added at the other chat too. I'm gonna hop over there. Um, but yeah, almost killing G's. Is there anything else that people are? Oh, Lucky Chronicles has a major death. You are right.
Yeah, it's the saddest one of all.
Yeah.
That might be the saddest one of anything Coruscant Nights related.
Yeah.
He was such a happy little guy.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Um, Aang's Noodle House. How did that come about? I'm curious now. We're just gonna
Oh,
ask.
totally random.
Yeah.
'Cause that was in the first episode.
Yeah, I
Uh,
know.
so
Which was
almost nothing
phenomenal
was
for
established at
cable.
that point. Yeah, yeah.
I love it.
Let's see. Um, was there actually Star Wars? We did that one.
Mhm.
Is Coruscant Nights timeline firmly rooted in the end of the Clone Wars and the rise of the
We did
Empire?
that one.
Yes. How long has Panna been running the casino, the Golden Gundark?
Oh, that's right. I missed that one.
That is a good
I missed
question that
that
I
one.
actually have a concrete answer for, but I
Okay.
don't have it off the top of my head. I will
Where's
drop it
the
in the chat
wiki?
here.
Send
Yeah.
us the link to the wiki.
Okay. Do you want to start working on it?
Oh, eh, what do you. What? Everything's recorded. It's fine. We'll get it transcribed and I'll copy and
Uh,
paste a whole bunch.
no, it's there's a public one.
Oh, there's a public wiki.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, send it.
Yeah.
All right, everyone.
That
Join us
answer
over on the
is
public wiki.
on the public wiki.
I love it.
Where did the dims come from?
Got
Can I
that.
share a part of lore that is drastically different than I first imagined it?
Mhm.
Um, the I guess not. I guess I can't. Uh, things do change as we play,
Mhm.
and I guess the whole concept of the list of
Oh, yeah.
has sort of fallen on the back burner.
Hmm.
Interesting part about that is I didn't really make that up. One of the first guests that I had on the show was Chris from the Redemption podcast,
Hmm.
and
What was the
there's
character?
Manus with Manus and Salt.
Oh, yeah. Oh my God, I love Manus and
They're
Salt. Yeah.
super into the Darth Plagueis stuff, so that
Hmm.
was not like an in originally intended bit, um, and it just happened through that backstory of that character that they came up with.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And then grew.
Yep. Grew from there and kind of fell off a little bit. It's a little less important now. One of the many things that the Dims are interested in. Uh, yeah.
Like it. Oh my gosh, I clicked off the thread. This is the problem.
Is Morgul Dems now owned by Future Forward? Morgul Dems will never be owned by Future Forward. Morgul Dems is owned by Morgul and Dem, even though they continually go out of business. Yeah. They just find a new cheap product that they need to sell. And we might actually hear from them in the next episode.
I like it.
Are there Cathans still living in the deep, deep undercrofts? Maybe. Carp is super into the weird stuff that lives under the city, so there might be stuff down there. Are the Killick celestial histories canon? When do we get those conspiracies? They will be canon when they are necessary for the story. Just like
Okay.
anything else that is old expanded universe. Once it comes into the story, it becomes canon. Right now, it just sort of lives off there in the nebulous area. What else we got? We got anything else that is
So
popping up
one that
for
I
you?
love is do we play only Theater of the Mind?
Yes, unless a player needs aid. Yeah,
We do have cheat sheets for the dice.
we don't need them anymore because we use RPG sessions, and that tells
Oh
you
yeah.
what happens. But yeah, it is 99% theater of the mind. Yeah, I'll give a visual aid if somebody is having trouble seeing something, or if they're having trouble visualizing where characters are in conjunction with each other, and that's happened a lot more on like Path of the Storm than on Coruscant Nights.
Nice. Okay. What is the one thing you tried to keep out of Coruscant Nights that got stuck in Coruscant Nights? And what is something you wanted to stick that didn't?
Um, I will say that there have been a number of, this is not exactly what the question is asking, but there have been a number of arcs that I intended to be very serious arcs that did not end up being very serious arcs.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and something that I wanted to stick that didn't.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think pretty much everything that I have intended to keep in it, even if it didn't make it into the episode that I originally had it in,
Mm-hmm.
made it there eventually.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think, friend, we've covered almost all in one form or fashion of the
Cool.
questions that
Great.
have been asked. High five to us. High five to anyone who's still awake in here. I haven't looked at the count. So I
There's some
don't
people.
know. Yay, awesome. Thank you so much for joining me on Behind the Mask slash Coruscant Nights. You tricked me into doing a podcast. I don't know how I feel about that. I'll process that later. But it's been absolutely delightful. I love talking to you as a human being, and it's been fun to talk to you about Coruscant
It
Nights.
has been
And I
fun.
love that Andrew's hit the music. He's like, "Yep, we're wrapping up." um, we will be back on next month. We're going to start changing the format a little bit. So come on in and see what it's going to be. We don't know.
Who knows?
Who knows?
We might not know then.
It'll be amazing, whatever it is. But thank you all so much. Mark, please let us know where we can find you on the interwebs.
You can find me right here on all the things that Nightcast Creative does. If you're watching this on YouTube, please check out Side Quests, where we play indie games in short campaigns. You can check out The Other Place, which is my homebrew world on the verge of an undead apocalypse. You can check out Coruscant Nights. If you're listening to this on Coruscant Nights, you probably already have. Um, what else we got? We got Path of the Storm, our High Republic show with Dicey Cantina and Goodwitch Studios. And of course, come visit us on the Nightcast Discord, play games with us, meet all the great people in the community, and watch this show when we record it.
Yes, it'll be amazing. Watch the back episodes and you get to know everybody who's here. So thank you all very much. We will see you next time. Now is when we smile and wave.